Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Good morning. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. Welcome to the first weekly outlook of 2025 here on my channel. It is January 4th of 2025. Wishing you the best, guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful time with your family, spend quality time with your loved ones, and I'm wishing you the best. This 2025, I can see already you guys, becoming profitable, reaching your goals, staying positive. Besides all the crappy stuff that is happening in the world, just focus on what you want, focus on what you wish, and I know you are gonna get there. So stay, starting the year very, very positive and very strong. And again, I'm wishing you all the best, all of you guys the best. So I'm gonna start by analyzing a couple of pairs, NASDAQ, S&P 500. We'll see what we're gonna jump later on. But starting on NASDAQ, I'm gonna pretty much do top-down analysis. Um, I will try to do this pretty much every week. Try to make 1 to 2 videos a week on the channel. All right, but especially on Sundays, I'll try to get on my best to get these videos out every Sunday, especially every Sunday. All right, so you guys can see ahead what could happen during the week. So let's go ahead and start right here. We have NASDAQ on the monthly time frame, and as you can see, we've been pretty much pumping up since this huge crash right here. If you remember 2022, the entire 2022, and then since then, all we've been doing is just push up, and that's what it is. That's normally what indices does. This was the actual pandemic right here. This was the coronavirus, and then right here, this was the much bigger crash, which lasted the entire 2022. Right, a whole year we were bearish, and then we've been pushing up since then. Right, the whole 2023, 2024, all we did was push. Right, now 2025, what's going to happen in 2025? Well, lots of things are happening right now. The president, uh, Donald Trump, right, is going to get now into the White House. Now is going to get in power this month. So it's going to be interesting what's going to happen now from here. There's a lot of things, bad things actually happening uh, in the world, but hopefully with Donald Trump in power, things are gonna slow down. These wars, these issues right now. So on the monthly time frame, what do we see? Look at what happened on December, right? This candle right there, that huge push, but then retrace all the way back down. We have a failure to close above. What that candle is telling me that we should expect price to come to this low right here, to that monthly low, to take it. But so far, this is the candle, right? This is generate candle. We are actually trying to push. I want you guys to notice something here. Those who trade probably futures, by the way, this is a broker. This is not the futures chart. Okay. If you go to the futures chart for NASDAQ, which is NQ, notice the difference. And this is why sometimes people get confused. But notice how this candle, this is the same, right? This is NASDAQ as well, but this is for futures. Notice that this month so far, January, it looks like swept that low. Notice, right? When I go to the NASDAQ chart on the other broker, which is Capital.com, it shows that it didn't. Hold on, it's a little slow, my internet connection right now. There we go. So you notice that. You see even the color of the candle, right? This is still bullish candle. And notice that January has not taken this low, right? So that's the thing that sucks. A lot of people get confused right now. Which chart should I follow? Which chart in particular should I follow? Just make sure you follow the chart or the broker that is most similar to yours, to your broker. So if this chart looks the most or the closest to your broker, then follow that. Okay. In this case, this is the one that that actually sticks to that is very close to my personal broker. I don't trade within TradingView. I trade on MT4 and another platform from my broker as well called XTB, and the charts are similar. Okay, if you trade futures, then stick then to the NQ chart right here, this one. Okay, so anyways, hope it makes sense. But you see right here, I'm going to stick to what I see based on my broker. What I see here is that we have not taken this low. We have not taken this low. So um, I'm still, based on the candle from December, I'm expecting price to actually move towards the downside. That's what is kind of telling me right now. So when we go to the weekly right here, now we're starting to see, too many weeks, very strong weeks. Notice what is currently happening. What just happened right here? We had a break of a structure to the upside, right? Price swept external. It came back down to internal. Notice that this fair value gap right here, this weekly fair value gap, notice this. We have not closed below the 50% of this fair value gap. So what is that telling me? Notice also this recent week, right? How we closed. We failed to close below this low, leaving a big wick right there. So I'm kind of expecting price next week to go towards that high. So I'm gonna call this a weekly high, right? Because this actual rejection right here is telling me on the weekly time frame that I am expecting price to go high. So I'm technically bullish, right, for next week. Now, as we go lower time frame, I'm going to go to the daily now. Notice here what's happening. Daily candle. Notice right here, candle doing the candle signs. The only thing I don't like is that we just left this double relative equal lows right now, right here. So that's a liquidity for sure that is hanging in there. And notice S&P 500 also on the right side. We're not taking that low either. So if we follow the candle, we did this place actually above. So expecting continuation towards the upside. Notice this candle, when it reached this low, we fail, right? On Thursday, we took that low, but we failed to close below. That candle was telling me that the next day we were going to go towards this high, and that's where price did. That's where price go. So now that we close strongly bullish on Friday, what am I expecting on Monday and Tuesday next week? I'm expecting price to go towards this high, eventually reaching this weekly high. Remember, this high right there is the weekly high. Why am I expecting price to go towards that high? Because the candle failed. This weekly candle failed to close below this low. It's a huge rejection. So I'm expecting price to go towards that high. Okay. So let's go back to the daily. There we go. Also, noticing that I have a daily fair value gap right here. So I want to see if we can target that. This is going to be interesting because are we going to go? I want to see what's going to happen once that high gets taken, to be honest. I don't know if we're going to go all the way up back to record highs. I don't know. But what I do know is that we are definitely rejecting this weekly imbalance right here, right? We have not closed below, so we could definitely have a very very strong push to the upside. So I'm looking, I'm definitely looking bullish, at least to see. Like I want to see if I can target right here this weekly high. Look at on the 4 hour. When I go to the 4 hour time frame, this would be a market structure shift right now. It's market structure shift, right? Notice the change in the state of delivery right here, right? We did close. This whole thing right here, it's a breaker. This whole zone, it's a breaker. You can mark it off from the bodies if you want. This is a breaker block right there. So, and we do have the market structure shift. We did close above that high. So that's definitely a change in the state of delivery. So what am I expecting? What do I want to see? Well, probably right here, you see this 4 hour candle failing to close above this high. Well, I'm expecting price to pull back a little bit. I don't know. We could actually respect this imbalance, this 4 hour fair value gap, And from there, we could actually try to go here. So I am going to be bullish until this point. From here, we'll see. We'll see, because if we keep, with the same force, we probably break through this imbalance right here. We're most likely going to go to this high. If we break very strong this fair value gap on the daily time frame, right? Remember, this is a daily fair value gap. Right there. So I'm definitely bullish. So I am expecting price. I'm going to mark this little imbalance here on the 4 hour, because that's probably what could happen. We could go all the way down here. We could definitely come here, tap this, and then probably push. Remember, next week, we actually have NFP on Friday, December 10th. All right. So on Monday, we don't have anything. We don't have news on Monday. On Tuesday, we do have reports coming out. And then on Friday, which is the strongest one, these are all red folders, but normally the biggest one is going to be the NFP for Friday. So that's what I'm expecting. I am going to be bullish up until this point. This zone, we really need to watch here. Okay. Once the market gets there, because something is telling me that if we do react there, we could still come back to these lows, take this relative equal lows right here. Okay. This drop was definitely huge. Like, notice the price did this big drop and then try to push, and then another drop. The market did close below this actual, the body, the actual price, right? But we're leaving hanging this relative equal lows. So from here, probably price could do something like this and then continue to take those lows. And then maybe we can shift here and maybe try to go up, right? So I'm bullish up until this point. I want to see what is going to happen right there for sure. All right. And basically, if you can see also on S&P 500, it, since these are correlated pairs, they do move very similarly, right? So we have a change in the state, we have market structure shift. If we go on a daily, you see very similar. We do have that fair value gap also right here, right? So probably expecting price to go towards that high. Let's see how the weekly candle is looking. Notice the weekly as well, right? We failed. We failed to close below this low. We retrace back up. So I'm expecting price on the weekly time frame. I'm expecting price to go towards this high, which is that's the weekly high, and coincides with that fair value gap right there. So similar, very similar to NASDAQ. I'm going to be monitoring both, expecting a little correction, like a little drop, probably by the time Asian session opens, and then continuation to the upside later on. So that's basically what I'm expecting on indices. So let's go ahead and check gold right now. As you can see here on gold, we've been flying, right? It's been for a month. I'm on the monthly time frame here on gold. Something interesting that I like, that where we're sitting right now at the moment. Notice on the monthly time frame. Notice that this monthly fair value gap is holding pretty well the price. Notice this candle from November, right? That it did drop, it did pierce into the fair value gap, but then retrace all the way back up and closed above. So because we're failing to close below this low, we're respecting this imbalance. Next month, December, was a little slow. It tried to push, it retraced back down. It still closed bearish, but we're still tapping. We're still respecting here. If you can also, yeah, you can mark up the 50%. You can use the 50% of this week, consequent encroachment, right? We are respecting 50% of this big wick right here. So what am I expecting? I'm seeing gold still strongly bullish. Like I would like to, I'm expecting probably this highs, right? Which is the monthly high. This is from November. And I'm expecting those highs to get taken, right? Now, this month is just starting. Let's go on the weekly. When we go on the weekly, there's too much things going on. Remember the elections and a lot of things happening right now with fundamental, but fundamental is pretty much news, right? I like to mark up psychological levels on gold. Normally mark up every $50. I mark a level, and those levels, they turned out pretty cool. So at this point, what am I seeing? A recent liquidity here taken, right? And price is being in this area. We go 4 hour. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the daily. See this recent push right here to the upside. We created an order block. There's an order block right here. We do have a fair value gap, which I believe we're gonna most likely be tapping. Right? Probably next week, probably on Monday, we might actually be tapping into that. And I'm expecting, I would like to see price tap here and continue to the upside. I would like to see that on the daily time frame. Right? I like this. I like this zone. Seriously, love liking this zone right here. I like that we manipulated this lows. We even have a change of the state right here on a 4 hour time frame. Sell side liquidity being taken. Right? So we just swept. Notice again the structure, right? We took buy side. So this goes like this, right? We swept external back to internal, which is this fair value gap, daily fair value gap right here. I'm expecting price to tap into this area somewhere here to give us a change of the state, and then we continue going to the highs. So I'm definitely like continue. I like the move. I like what gold is doing at the moment. The position where it is, I am definitely expecting price to go and continue towards this highs. Of course, gold is also very sensitive to news. So anything that happens in the world right now, it is going to be affecting gold. The technical analysis is telling me that I should expect price to continue pushing up. We're currently respecting. I think we did give it a little kiss right there. We're tapping that daily fair value gap, but I think in overall the strongest definitely on the monthly. I like that we've been rejecting this imbalance right here. So I want to see. I still want to see this hold right. This whole sell side of the curve to buy side of the curve. I want to see gold get all the way to the top again, at least to take this highs out. So what's my bias for gold? I'm bullish. I want to see a rejection in this area. Okay, this is an area that you guys need to watch for Monday. Okay, so keeping an eye on that. Let's go ahead and check another pair. GBP USD. I'm on the monthly time frame. This is a pair that you can see here. It's been breaking structures through the years to the downside, right? So recently, we zoom in a little bit here. It's looking like it is reacting to somewhere here, maybe to this. So we'll call this the supply. It's reacting to a zone where this is where it tanked, right? A lot of volume right here. Look at this. One, two big monthly candles right there. And then pretty much it melted pretty quick right here. What year was this? 2022. So the entire 2022, it just went melting down. Then it sort of recovered. Now we just took tap into that same zone where it crashed, and it's starting to show more volume again. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4 months consecutive bearish right here. So that's a big reaction. Let's go to the weekly, and on the weekly, notice what is happening. Right here, right? Price takes the liquidity from this highs, sweeps the high. Notice the structure right here. Price creates a high, low, higher high, lower low, right? Big market structure shift here, change the state. There was a nice breaker block and a fair value gap. Price never came back to tap it and go. It was so much volume right here that it went down straight. So much selling pressure, very very strong. And this is a week. I'm on the weekly time frame, so it dropped for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, 2 months, pretty much, right? Strong. Then corrected a little bit. Look where it reacted on this only. Well, not only this. This was the first one right here. This is the second fair value gap that created. So price tapped there, give it a pin bar, nice reaction, and then boom, continuation to the downside. So we're not taking these lows. What do you think price is heading? You know, most likely at this point from here, we're definitely going to be taking these lows. And I don't know if it eventually will take this. Probably, we might actually eventually take all of this. We'll go back down, all the way down to this lows. I don't know. But I do know that after the market takes this low, we can watch out, right? Because from here, we could probably have another shift in the structure to the upside, right? What I do know is from this perspective right now, now that we just recently rejected this fair value gap, I'm bearish, strongly bearish. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Strongly bearish, right? If we go on a daily now, we just created, we just left this bearish fair value gap, which I'm expecting probably price to come back into this fair value gap, reject, and then take that low. So let's go lower time frame right here. So it recently broke that structure, right? We swept, might actually go, this is the daily fair value gap, right? But we do have, when I go to the 4 hour, we have one imbalance here, another imbalance here. So it could react anywhere in the middle. You could probably use your Fibonacci, depending how you see this, maybe from the top to the bottom, and wait for price to go into premium. So we can wait for probably price to tap somewhere there before we actually go selling, right? And in consequence, we're expecting those lows. So I'm bearish, but probably expecting price to correct a little bit, get inside this daily fair value gap, and then from here, it could sell off. But that's what I'm seeing. We're definitely strongly bearish on GBP USD. Let's take a look at Euro USD right now. Let's see what it's doing. So this is how it's looking on the weekly, on the monthly. I'm sorry. We're also, like you see, price it just keeps creating low lows, low highs, low lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. It keeps breaking the structures to the downside, and on the monthly, right? Recently, we had a similar drop, right? 1, 2, 3 months dropping right now. This is January. So we managed to sweep this high. We did not take this high, right? But we manipulated this high, and then from there, very strong displacement to the downside. This is the monthly change in the state of delivery. Let's see how this looks on the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, we just swept these lows. Notice right here, price went up one more time, a little bit to take that high and then drop. Change the state, market structure shift right there, and then it's been dropping, right? Similar to GBP USD. Notice that this fair value gap, notice how the price reacts to that with that pin bar targeting where, this is where, you normally could get really good positions, or you can take a really good guess. Right now, that pin bar right there, that reaction in this fair value gap, it makes you want to go lower time frame, right? You can go lower time frame and look for an entry model, right? If you see here on this market right now, after taking all this liquidity, price tapping into this fair value gap, right? You got buy side liquidity right there. You look for a change in the state of delivery. Where's the change in the state of delivery? Right here. So you could be probably entering right there in that block, right? There's a breaker block right here also. and targeting that low. That's the low you want to target. Look at that. Here, they gave another. If you can see here, price also went up, swept this, another big displacement to the downside, change the state, price comes back up to tap the block. Look how it reacts to this fair value gap. So you see, you could have entered from that imbalance, from that fair value gap, that rejection. You just wait for the price to manipulate, tap the fair value gap, higher time frame PDR rate, and then you go bearish. That could have been a nice sell. So at this point, where is it, right? Since we have just taken, let's go ahead and with that. Okay, there we go. So let's go back higher. Now, this is interesting. This is the interesting part right now because we are, let's see on the monthly, if we have some, yeah, this is going to be a tricky part right here because we're currently tapping a higher time frame fair value gap. Bullish fair value gap, right? However, let's see that monthly, yeah, no, the monthly now, weekly, this is how we close. This is a weekly candle. So we did displace below. That candle did displace below. So expecting probably price to continue going to the downside. So I'm not sure if we're going to respect here, but that's going to be interesting to see. I know that we build a one fair value gap right here on the daily. So let's see if we're going to have, I don't like this as much as in comparison to GBP USD, but probably something like this. We could have something like that. Wait for Monday to tap into this fair value gap. And if you happen to get a change in the state of delivery in lower time frame, you can take a shot. Why not? You know, by waiting for the price to get into the zone, if you get a change in the state of delivery to the downside, you can take the entry targeting this lows. Okay. So technically, it's still bearish on Euro USD. Let's go ahead and take take a look at another pair. This is a pair that I've been, a lot of people has been seeing now, USD pairs, because Donald Trump now, going into the White House is going to be the president again. Uh, the U.S. dollar is actually gaining a lot of strength right now. So we're going to be seeing USD CAD breaking these highs now. In the next couple of days, probably couple of weeks, we're going to be seeing that. Look at on the weekly. I love you look at on how it looks on the weekly after we accumulated for such a long time, and then this is pretty much right here. We started to fly. We broke outside this accumulation, this range, right? This range was price was right here for a long time, for almost 2 years. What? More than 2 years, right? 749 days, and then right here you notice, right, when the expectations, everything was aiming that Donald Trump was going to win. So we're flying. Notice what it did here on the weekly. You see this? Seeing this rejection. Look at that. Look at that rejection. So price, this candle here from the last week right here, it went into the fair value gap and then rejected. Look at that. Let's see if we would have gotten into a buy into this area. Look at the range again. We sort of accumulated. This is an ugly accumulation right now. We did not take this low, but we did sweep this relative equal lows right here. We are headed for this liquidity. Now we're going to be taking those highs for sure. Let me clean some of this. And let's go lower time frame. I'm sure right here we had something. Look at this. Look at this change in the state. changing the state of delivery. The push was very strong, and the market actually pulled back to tap into the fair value gap. So the entry right here, if you want it, you could have entered at the fair value gap, targeting highs. Stop loss, you wanted to enter probably there at the fair value gap, targeting this size, right? Understanding that it's possible the price could have actually dropped to tap the block, right? The actual order block right there after the change of the state, right? Probably in lower time frame. I don't know if we would have had another better entry in lower time frame. Probably right there. Yep. On the 15-minute, again, look at this. Change in the state. Same thing here. You got a fair value gap. So this time your position, your buy could have been at the fair value gap. A lot better in lower time frame, right? So much better risk to reward. Then targeting that swing high. So three days pushing up right there. So what am I expecting? Continuation to the upside. Daily candle, we just closed bullish. Definitely expecting that high. We're just too close to that high. So notice on the 4-hour time frame, what I want to see is this fair value gap. This is what's going to happen right here. This 4-hour candle failing to take this high right there. I want to see price come into this and then boom, push up. So that's pretty much what I want to see right there. Alrighty. So definitely bullish. Strongly bullish. Let's take a look at another pair. This is an interesting pair at USD. It's normally more kind of bearish on the higher time frame. I would say, yeah. Look at what recently did. We just swept this low, but we've been having a very strong bearish momentum right now, right? After market swept this highs, we swept by side. And thing is that we just took liquidity right from this side. We could be reversing back up, but I want to see on the weekly here, because if you notice, we are literally just having a double bottom right now. So I think we're still gonna run through those lows right there. I love how the price pushed up, manipulated the size, and then boom, look, it's been dropping since then. Huge drop right there, changing the state, breaker block, all of that good stuff right here. Look, the price, you see this wick right here? It just came exactly right there, tap that block, and then boom, just continue melting, right? Now, after this break, I want to say that I'm still, I'm expecting price to continue going bearish. So I'm marking up that weekly fair value gap. Notice how this current week closed. This current week swept this double bottom and failed to close below. So it's a pin bar, right? I'm expecting price to move towards this highs now. So this week, this upcoming week, I want to see price pushed up, probably get into here, boom, and then at some point I want to see a drop. So I want to say I'm a bit more bullish this week for this pair until this point. So we could be looking for buys to target this highs right here. At least that weekly high. I'm going to mark it up here. Weekly high. And then going lower time frame and finding probably the best entry right here, right? Since we just manipulated this lows, noticing that we're still holding this bullish fair value gap, right? So I'm definitely expecting price to, from here, somewhere in this area, probably is going to come back here. Probably is going to, if we do manipulate one of this lows, we can go lower time frame, find a little change in the state of delivery, and we could target those highs right there. At least at least that weekly high. Or in consequence, we could definitely be targeting this highs right here. So we might actually go in overall. If we do break through this, we probably want to see something like this, and then boom, continuation to the downside. So I'm a bit more bullish until this weekly high gets taken. Once that weekly high gets taken, we can continue going bearish. Like in the overall trend, I'm bearish. I hope it makes sense, right? On the higher time frame, bearish, but I'm expecting a little correction, a little pullback to sweep some of this highs right here, all this engineered liquidity right here. I'm expecting price to move towards those highs, and then from here we can continue going bearish. So that's the direction that I'm expecting for this particular pair. So this is it, guys. After watching a lot of pairs right here, I came to show you here what are the best pairs for me this week to watch, to definitely take a look, to monitor, right? You don't need to be watching all of them, but you can go on the weekends, you can just check and see which one has the best structure for you to trade, to look at during the week, okay? To have a little idea of what the bias is going to be for the week. So hope it makes sense. Hope you guys understand. If you're watching this video for the first time, give it a big thumbs up. It motivates me to continue posting videos here for you guys. Make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you get notified as soon as I post a new video. Please make sure to follow me on my Instagram, on my Telegram group, and my free Telegram group. If you want to be part of my team, just make sure to visit my website, teamprofitsenglish.com. I'm offering a bundle right now. It's a one-time payment, and you're part of my team forever. You will be able to see me trade live. You get my course, mentorship, and pretty much everything is based off of ICT concepts and smart money concepts. So hope it makes sense. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.